Hey everybody, Jamie from the Marine Doctors YouTube channel, and today I'm gonna rant again. Tell you a little story about what happened yesterday. A customer brought in Mercruiser, that particular boat over there, the Rinker, and he had a blown exhaust bellows. And I told him that sometimes when we go in, we find other things. So I suggested we might have to do the gimbal bearing. Well, that's fair enough. I open it up, and sure enough, the gimbal bearing has to be done, as well as his shifter boot. So I guess ahead of time he knew about the shifter boot because his boat was sinking. So I went ahead and did the repair on the shifter boot, as well as the gimbal and the exhaust bellows. But at the same time I was in there, we have to take the shifter cable out. So I tested the shifter cable and I found it had a sticking point. So the cable is about 160 bucks. And I didn't charge him any extra labor because I was already in there, all right? And the cable definitely needed to be replaced. So customer gets said bill, and I get called to the phone. And he's given me grief about spending the extra $160 on his boat that he said has never had a problem shifting before in the entire time that he owned it. For 5 minutes he's been telling me this, just going off on me. So I said, okay, here's what I'll do. You know, I found the sticking point. I know there was a problem. And again, he attested that there wasn't. So I gave him 20% off the bill, right? You know, just to be nice, just to, you know, calm things down. Here's the thing, and here's where you may agree or you may disagree. If it comes down to $160 that you have to rant and be mad about, should you really be owning a boat and spending the money on the boat when it sounds like you've got money that needs to go elsewhere? And another thing, and this one really stung. This actually really bothered me when this guy was going off at me, because I try and be really honest with people, and I treat his people as fair as possible, and I help them where I can, right? If I wouldn't have replaced that cable and he took it to the lake and had an issue with shifting, he'd have blown up on me, wouldn't he? Because I was the last one to touch his shifter cable. Like, what do you do? What would you guys do? Would you have given him 20% off? Would you have argued with him about it? Would you have, I don't know, maybe explained? Like, I was calm. I thought I did what I needed to do with that 20% off. I just don't know sometimes. Sometimes people just get under your skin. And I don't feel it's fair to me, because like I said, I do go out of my way for these people and I try and help them when I can. Sheesh. Just people. Anyway, sorry for the rant, guys, but I needed to say it, and I guess some people even need to hear it. You know, in this industry, if we find something, we have to fix it. There's no two ways about it. We can't just leave it. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and hey, thanks for watching.